years ago in my 30s, I was blessed to be a soloist at Bellevue Baptist Church. Dr. R.G. Lee was the pastor, and he was such a mentor to me and so kind, so grateful for his part in my life. And I was going through a divorce at the time I met him, and he said to me, Ed Stoneacre's spiritual life is his spiritual life. Your spiritual life is your spiritual life. You cannot fix him. You just come to church and be blessed and bless us and let God take care of that. Well, it was amazing how his spiritual guidance meant so much to me. I quit crying and began to be a different person. And that part actually happened during Dr. Rogers' reign. But after Dr. Lee was Dr. Ramsey Pollard, and he was very different, not the great orator that Dr. Lee was, but he was a bulldog of a person and very loyal to his flock, and a sweet, sweet man. And one time he got up in church and he said, my friend J.D. Gray, president of New Orleans Seminary, has been called in by the board for smoking a cigar. And he said, we're going to have him for a revival. Well, this was in the day when you could drive by any Baptist church between Sunday school and church and see folks out smoking, even women outside smoking in that day. And the movies were full of cigarettes and whiskey and, you know. Anyway, while we had Dr. Gray for a revival, Dr. Pollard's wife, Della, was quite the hostess, very Southern lady type, charming, and a great hostess. She had a party for the deacons and their wives after the revival one night. She had chairs lined up around in a big circle in the living room, which was quite large. And she did a really neat thing. About every 20 minutes, she would either clap her hands or speak up or blow a whistle. I forgot what she did, but she would ask everybody to change their seat. So they'd be sitting by somebody totally different than they were sitting with 20 minutes ago, which was a great party mixer and way to get people to meet different people while they were there. And Dr. Pollard walked in with a lit cigar. And of course, everybody was, and he said, I just want y'all to know that JD and I go fishing when he's here. And when we're out fishing, we smoke cigars to keep the mosquitoes off of us. Well, everybody just laughed, you know, because I don't think he smoked regularly or anything like that, but it was just funny that he would stand up for his friend like that, you know. And when I was having my first record deal with Comfort Records, Ed was trying to get more money for me out of the record, and he literally balked on the contract at the last minute. And the news picked that up and said, you know, that the record was in controversy or something like that. Anyway, Dr. Pollard called me up. He said, you want me to run that bozo out of town? I said, no. I'll talk Ed into compromising. So we did that, but he was so cute and was very loyal to his people in his church, and they all were. And I was pleased with working with them, and it was a great lesson for me to be around someone who was so spiritually attuned as those that were, when I was in the church all the time, like I was younger. And it was a blessing to have Jim Whitmire as my choir director and Tommy Lane as my choir director, both jewels in God's crown, a blessing to me. And we, as entities for Christ, need to try our very best to be a blessing to others. God bless you today.